welcome to Yellow Dog Studios. In this week's episode of Unbound, the book club for people who don't have time to read books. I'm Bear, your host on our journey through amazing books that you simply do not have time to read. As always, Unbound is sponsored by the Internet. Yes, the Internet, giving folks a way to avoid holding a book since 1983. Now, years ago, I read a book by Andy Andrews called The Traveler's Gift, 7 Decisions That Determine Personal Success. As a general rule, I am wary of people with 2 first names, but Andy Andrews is a notable exception. Andy tells the tale of a gentleman named David Ponder. Through a series of unfortunate events, not to be confused with the Lemony Snicket stories, David loses his job, his company car, insurance, the works. And now he has a very sick child. Other bills are piling up, and he's so broke that he can't even buy smoke off a burger. You get the idea. In an act of desperation, David thinks about just ending it all so that whatever paltry payout his life insurance has might help his family for at least a little while. Driving too fast on an icy road is never a good idea because the odds of you crashing are pretty high. But in this case, it makes a great transition to a storyline that I can only describe as a Christmas carol for the rest of us. In his post-accident dream state, David meets 7 historical figures that each give him one piece of advice. Those 7 encounters, combined with those 7 pieces of advice, dramatically transform the course of David Ponder's life and the lives of all who associate with him. Here's a brief synopsis of these 7 decisions. The first decision, the buck stops here. I will not let my history control my destiny. Now, Tony Robbins says that your past can be a source of inner strength and deep belief in yourself if you choose to give it a positive meaning. Personally, I've always said that it's only a mistake if you didn't learn anything from it. The second decision is, I will seek wisdom. All of the world's major religions and universities talk about wisdom the same way. There is a difference between knowledge and wisdom, but we each need to actively seek knowledge and apply it properly to gain wisdom. To put it another way, knowledge tells us that technically tomatoes are fruit. Wisdom is not trying to market tomato-flavored breakfast cereal. The third decision is, I am a person of action. Throughout history, there have always been significantly more people talking about the need to do something to fix a problem than there are people who take action to develop and implement a solution to that problem. In the military, we have a saying, lead, follow, or get out of the way. The fourth decision is, I have a decided heart. Andy says that criticism, condemnation, and complaint are creatures of the wind. So I believe that once I make a decision to do something, I get to it. There will always be naysayers and those who keep saying that something cannot be done, and those people are nothing more than a distraction to those of us who are actually doing it. The fifth decision is, today I will choose to be happy. Our very lives are fashioned by choices. First, we make our choices, then our choices make us. So start to train your brain to look for the positive in every circumstance. Trust me, the positive is there, and finding it is always worth the effort. The sixth decision is, I will greet this day with a forgiving spirit. You will find that the universe rarely has a practical use for a person whose main concern is what others are thinking. As I often say, those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. Forgive those who have been negative towards you, and move on. The seventh decision is, I will persist without exception. Reason can only be stretched so far, but faith has no limits. The only limit to your realization of tomorrow is the doubt that you hold fast to today. Another saying in the military that has served me well is, if you ain't dead, you ain't done. I won't give away the ending per se, but you get the picture as to how David Pounder took these lessons to heart and used these decisions to finally realize the potential he had inside him all along. Now, overall, this was a pleasant read, an interesting twist on the familiar tale of Ebenezer Scrooge, and I have personally used these decisions in both my personal and professional life with great success, and I encourage each of you to do so as well. So, that's it for this week's episode of Unbound. Thanks for listening. Join me next week here at Yellow Dog Studios as we dig into the definitive guide to getting things right the first time, 4th edition. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, or anywhere else that books are not sold. Yellow Dog Studios is a wholly owned subsidiary of Who Are You Talking To in Our Closet Productions. Set construction by Mr. Green Jeans, music and sound effects by Les FM and Dennis L., courtesy of Pixabay.com. And I do not own the rights to this music.